Hello! In today's video, we will be explaining everything about abilities in the IFA. Let's go! There are two sections to understand: how to read abilities and the types of abilities. Let's start with the first section, how to read abilities. An ability consists of two main parts, the title and the description. The title indicates the character the ability belongs to. For instance, Winter Soldier's first ability tells us it's the first ability for Winter Soldier. The second part is the description. The description is a summarized version of what the ability can do. For example, the description for Winter Soldier's first ability says, everyone 25 meters traveled on foot, gain a strength and speed buff. This implies that when playing as Winter Soldier, everyone 25 meters traveled, only when you are walking on foot, you will gain a damage and speed buff. If this is still too confusing, there are character showcases in my channel that explain each ability in full detail. Moving on to the types of abilities. They can be categorized into 5 main categories: movement, dancing, elimination, objective, and passive. The first category is movement. Movement-based abilities rely on the character's movement and are often reusable. There are 4 types of movement abilities: on-foot movement, which requires the player to be touching a surface floor while moving; on air, which requires the player to be suspended in the air while moving; in vehicle, which requires the player to be in a vehicle while moving; and just movement, which has no movement type requirement and any type of movement goes. The way to tell which movement type ability you have is by reading the description. Moving on to the next category, dancing. Dancing-based abilities requires the player to dance for activation. Although these abilities are reusable, they are often paired with a cooldown timer. There are 2 types of dancing abilities: instant dancing and time dancing. Instant dancing abilities require the player to press the dancing button, and the ability will activate. As long as the button is pressed, it will activate no matter how short the dance is. The next type is time dancing. Time dancing, also known as mini ultimates, require the player to dance for a certain amount of time. The reason they're called mini ultimates is because once activated, they give the player big buffs for a short period of time, hence the long dance requirement. Think of the time requirement as a character powering up. The next category is elimination-based abilities. Elimination-based abilities require the player to eliminate an opponent or opponents for the ability to activate. These abilities are often reusable. The next category is objective abilities. Objective abilities give the player tasks to complete to gain certain items or buffs. These abilities are often not reusable. Tasks can vary, including eliminations: fish fished, weapons fished, shield potions consumed, time elapsed, distance traveled on foot, air, or vehicle. These are some of the objectives that might pop up when a character has an objective-based ability. The next category is passive abilities. Passive-based abilities require no input from the player, but act on their own. These abilities are often reusable. Passive abilities work on timers and activate when the timer has elapsed. To recap, there is 2 sections to understand abilities: how to read the title and description of an ability, and understanding the 5 categories of abilities. Thank you for watching. I hope this video has provided clarity on how abilities work in the IFA. Have a fantastic day.